Hi, I'm Ms. Fung. Today we're going to look at direct proportion and ratio. Example 1. In the following table, B is directly proportional to A. Find the equation connecting B and A and hence complete the table. So B is proportional to A. How did we write that in the previous video? We wrote it with this symbol here. And what does that mean? It means B is equal to something times A. And that something is K. How do we find what K is? Well, we have B and A here. We can plug that in. So B is 10.5 and A is 3. And how do you get rid of the 3 from that side? Divide by both sides by 3. Now we have K equals 3.5. And now that we have the constant as 3.5, we can plug it into this equation here to give us B equals 3.5A. That is our relationship. Now we use this relationship to answer the other questions. So when A is 5, all we have to do is plug in A is 5. And we multiply it in and we have B is equal to 17.5. Likewise, to find what A is, when we have B, we just plug in what B is, so 28. Now we have to simplify to get A by itself, so dividing both sides by 3.5. I've rearranged it so it's easier to see from left to right, and we get A is 8. So recap, write down B equals KA, figure out what K is by using one of the coordinates. Make sure you plug in B as B and A as A, the right values, and then when you rearrange you get what K is, and once you have K you have the equation, and you can use the equation to find out other answers. Example 2. P is directly proportional to Q. And take note how to read that. P is directly proportional to Q. And when P is 22, Q is 4. Find the constant of proportionality and state the equation connecting P and Q. So here we have P is proportional to Q, or in other words, P is equal to KQ. So now we have P is 22, Q is 4, plug that in, dividing both sides by 4, and we get K is 5.5. And therefore our equation here is the same as P equals 5.5Q. Let's go back to the question. There's no questions, let's find the question. Find P when Q is 7. So if Q is 7, just plug it into this equation here. We have P equals 5.5 times 7, which is 38.5. Next question, find Q when P is 165. So now 165 is what P is, so the left side of the equation. So plug that in, and we have 165 equals 5.5Q. And how do you simplify and get Q by itself? Divide both sides by 5 and 5, and we get P is equal to 30. Example 3. The mass M kilograms of oil is directly proportional to its volume, V liters. 6.5 liters of oil have a mass of 23.4. What is the equation connecting M and V? So here we have M and V as directly proportional to each other, or in other words, M is equal to KV. And we have a point here. We have V is 6.5 when M is 23.4. And therefore, dividing both sides by 6.5, we can figure out what K is, which is 3.6. And now that we have K, what can we do? We can plug it into equation and have a relationship. M equals 3.6 V. Now the question asks, what is the equation connecting it? It's that one there. Another question is, find the mass of 10 liters of oil. Well, when V is equal to 10, what is M? So M equals 3.6 times 10, which is 36 kilograms. Now let's ask a question in reverse. What happens if you have the kilograms, so the mass, and you're looking for the volume? Find the volume of 171 kilograms of oil. So now we put 171 where M is, and we have equals 3.6 V. Now we have to figure out what V is. How do we do that? Divide both sides by 3.6 and we get 47.5 liters. So next we're going to look at ratio. If y is directly proportional to x, then y equals kx, where k is a constant. We've seen that. If we move it around, so transposing it, so moving the x over, we have k is equal to y over x. and therefore we can use y over x to figure out what k is. So for any pair of values, x, y, the ratio y over x is constant and equals the constant of proportionality. That's if the relationship is directly proportional. Let's use that. State the constant of proportionality for the following. So we have y over x is what we're looking for. So we can plug in any, but I'm going to plug in the easiest one, which is 4 and 1. You could do 40 and 10, you will still get 4. So k is equal to 4, the constant of proportionality. Example 5, Ella works part-time and she's paid a fixed rate per hour. Fixed rate meaning it's directly proportional, the number of hours and how much she earns. If she earned 540 for 6 hours of work, how much will she earn for 14 hours? Well, we could draw a table to help us understand, where let's say P is how much she gets paid and N is the number of hours. So now the story has 6 hours and it's asking for 14 hours, but for 6 hours she's paid 540. So now from this we can obtain the K, how much she gets paid per hour, or the constant of proportionality, and that is 540 divided by 6, which is $90. Remember, y over x. So now we can write the equation as P is equal 19 times N, and that makes sense. She gets paid $90 times the number of hours she worked. So for 14 hours, we'll just have to plug in N is 14, and we obtain P is $1,260. So that's how much she gets paid for 14 hours. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.